October 27th, 2018, the very first season of 1984 premiered. 1984, named after the George Orwell novel in which the character of Big Brother was first introduced. After 4 successful online seasons, the idea of an in-person live game was concocted, and 1984 Live was born. Originally set to film in Ohio in the summer of 2021, the COVID-19 pandemic put a halt on the game. Now, after 12 Big Brother seasons, 2 Survivor spin-offs, and 2 minis, 1984 Live can finally become a reality. 141 people have competed in the Big Brother version online. This season, these 12 hopefuls have come to sunny Orlando, Florida to play this game live and in person. Who will have what it takes to make it to the end and claim the $500 grand prize? Find out this season on 1984 Live. This episode of 1984 Live is dedicated to my friend Nathan Goodwin and my friend and alumni Yoshi Sneed. The light you both offered to the org community in 1984 will be remembered forever.
I'm moving into the house and we're all standing there huddled together in this narrow little hallway, and I look around and I see some pretty familiar faces.
There's Brayden. Then there's Brayden.
Right away, my eye turns to Missy, who is one of my very closest friends in the community and a fellow 1984 alum from both of my seasons of Big Brother 1984.
The Hot Cheeto girls have made it to Florida. I am freaking out.
First person I easily recognize is Brayden. We recently played a challenge game.
Alex and I have played some games in the past. We've worked closely together. We kind of know how each other work.
He's someone I definitely want to work with. Me and Brayden are very close in that game. So he's someone I want to work with this game and want to play with.
So I'm super excited to see Alex because I know that he's somebody that I can trust.
I'm standing there looking around at all of these people. We're all excited to play this game for the first time, but I'm just so nervous. This is gonna be a good fight. There are a couple of people that I've heard of from the org community that I think are gonna be some heavy hitters in this game.
The first person that is obvious to me walking into the front door is Mikey.
Eric and I played Deathly Hallows together, and he was the winner.
I was kind of hoping coming in that I could play with other Deathly Hallows players because I feel like I got along really well with that cast when I played in it.
I am happy to have somebody that I think I can form maybe a little alliance with quick, but it's in the back of my mind that he won. He is definitely somebody I'm going to have to keep an eye on.
So I see Mikey and I'm like, yes, I want to work with him. I love Mikey. He and I worked a little bit at Deathly Hallows as well, so I think that's perfect.
We were standing in line at the beginning of the house, and I was expecting to know absolutely nobody here. And I basically look around and I see 2 of my favorite people, both Marvin and Mikey, and that just got me like through the roof.
I recognize Travis. I know him a little bit just from the org community.
There's a lot of people that I don't know and like unfamiliar faces, so that's what's scaring me going into this first HOH and getting into the house, but I think I should be able to work with a lot of them because I see some people that I think I could get along well with.
Another person I recognize is Brandon. We only played 1 game together, but we didn't know each other out. There was any lies, and he really came next emotionally, but I have heard that he stings people, so I do have to keep an eye on him. I don't know how far I want to go with him, but definitely at least at the beginning game, at least rounds like 1 through 3, I'll be loyal to him, but we'll see how it goes from there.
So I've actually played in singing orgs with Brandon. I played in Online Idol with Brandon, and I've played in The Masked Singer Season 4 for BB org with Brandon before, but we've never really talked. I just recognize him.
I look around and I don't see Michael being along, so I know what he's thinking, but I do see Casey. And he's somebody I played my first ever game with.
We didn't work together in the game, unfortunately.
We both, I don't think he played a lot.
Garrett and I have kept in contact. We probably talk every 4 to like 5 or so months.
So he's somebody who I really think I can vibe with and I can work with in this game. We have a secret connection here and I don't know anybody.
So I think when Garrett and I saw each other, there was definitely a mutual understanding.
Hello and welcome to 1984 Live. Look around you because these people could be your new best friend or your worst enemies. The 12 of you are about to embark on a 2-day adventure vying for the $500 grand prize. When I call your name, you may move into the house. You will claim your bed by putting your picture on it. The first 4 to move in are Melissa, Marvin, Braden, and Casey. You guys can move on in.
I'm in the first group that gets to pick their rooms and their beds. So I run upstairs and I see, right away I see one room that has a big bed, and then I see a room that has 4 bunk beds. Like, well, it's 2 bunk beds, but it's 4 beds.
So I take a quick look around the house and I see king bed after king bed after king bed. So I know it doesn't matter how completely uncomfortable these bunk beds look. I need to snag one of those and I need to drag my girl Missy in there too.
And so I feel like, as much as I really want that king size bed because it looks so comfortable, it's smarter for me to pick a room that has bunk beds because there's more people in the room, and this is going to be good for me to socialize and get to know people.
After I walked into the Pokemon room, Casey also did follow behind me, but then he noticed that all 4 of us were in there, so he decided to go look for another bed. And
do I want this? Hold on. I'll be right back.
So as I'm sitting there on the bunk bed, Marvin comes into the room. He kind of looks over at Missy and I, and then he takes off. What are you doing, Marvin? So as we're sitting there claiming our beds, I see Casey come in. And he kind of darts around, looks around the room, takes note of who's in there, and he takes off. Almost like, I don't want to bunk with these motherfuckers.
Fuck. I wanted the 4 beds, but did not want to be with them. So I'm looking at the others, and I think that it would be a bad decision if the first wave of move-ins all chose the same room. While there definitely are good social and strategic implications of staying together, I decide against it.
So as we know, time is of the essence in this game. So immediately, Missy and I kick it off right away, and we lock in a final 2 deal. We saw that coming.
Braden and Missy's Florida trip of fun.
I know where I'm going.
I see what room I want. It's Pokemon. I mean, it's Pokemon. Let's be real. I mean, I have a Squirtle tattoo right here, so.
Here she is. Got my Squirtle right here.
I ultimately do decide to, stay in the bedroom with Missy and Braden. Gotta make those strong connections when I need them as early as possible.
It won't surprise me if, like,
if anybody's smart, they're going in this room.
I'm not gonna lie though, like, I'm pretty short.
Y'all know I wasn't getting a top bunk.
So I go to look about the house and see there is a twin bedroom, and I think that could be kind of interesting because I still share a room with someone, but I won't necessarily be stuck in an actual bed with someone else.
Casey is also in the first group with me, but he doesn't choose the same room as me. He goes to a different room that I think only has like 2 beds in it. I believe it was the Princess Trolls room is what he went to, whereas I went to a Pokemon room.
But there is a very interesting room I noticed, which is in the corner of the upstairs, sort of secluded from the rest, no link to any other bedrooms, and I feel that that might be my best shot, and it is also a very comfortable bed. Definitely did not want them to get that room, but I'll make the best.
So I'm sitting in the room with Brayden and Marvin. I'm feeling pretty confident just because I know both of them, and I'm hoping that this gives me a chance to work with them closer. And I'm really excited to see who the 4th bunkmate is, because I'm hoping that means I'm gonna get a chance to work with them as well.
The second group to move in is Mikey, Garrett, Eric, and Travis. You may now move in.
Thank you. Oh wow. The trip.
Oh, this is nice. The house is amazing, but I run up those stairs because I want to make sure that I get the correct bed for my game.
Oh,
Shut up,
what?
Paul.
You got some bumps here?
Oh,
a full room, oh.
Lo and behold, in comes Travis.
I see the first room, nobody's there yet, so I didn't want to risk it with someone random coming in with me that I don't think I'd play well with.
The second move-in group ends up coming, upstairs, time to move in, and the first person who walks in is Travis.
So I run over to the next room, and I see Missy, Brayden, and Marvin sitting on the bed. And I know that's a little bit dangerous because they could just automatically put us into an alliance.
Travis looks and then is about to walk away, and I'm like, no, you're going in that bed. And surely enough, he ended up staying.
we called it.
So eventually Travis comes into the room and he notices that there's a free bed and he decides to grab that.
But I decide to go with it and just go with my gut because I think that we could form a really tight group. Missy being the only woman and also just being an outspoken person is what she seemed like. I was like, for sure, this is what I want for my game.
I'm feeling pretty good about Travis, and this seems like a solid 4 group. I'm just hoping that we're not targeted because we are the only 4-person group in a room.
When Travis does decide to stay in the room, I am happy because I know these are the 3 people that I want to work with, and I need to build those connections, like I said, about Brayden and Missy, and I just feel like I would have a strong connection there with Travis as well.
I'm kind of disappointed because I do know that Alex is still out there looking for a bed, and in my ideal world, Alex takes that last bed, and not this person that I'm not entirely sure about. Travis seems pretty nice, but the last thing that I need in our bunk bedroom of 4 is a snake in the grass.
I'm frustrated because I wanted to be in the first movement group because I figured that there would be one room that had a few more beds than all of the other ones, so I wanted to get a chance to get my foot in that door and get myself situated there. But by the time I came up the stairs, I was behind Travis, and Travis had already gotten the room, Pokemon room, which had all 4 bunks in it.
And I wanted to get the room that had the 2 bunk beds because that was going to be the room with the most people in it. I wanted to be around as many people as possible.
This one looks cute. I wanted to be
Pokemon.
here.
I saw Pokemon and was like, this is it.
Yeah. Fine, I'll find another one.
By the time I find it, it's already completely full, so I kind of have to readjust and figure out what I'm going to do from there.
You in here.
Think about it a little bit more.
At that point, every other room is going to be 2 people, so I just take the princess room so I can have my own bed.
You know what? I think I'll take the princess room.
So I see Mikey is taking a bed in the troll room, and I'm like, okay, well that's cool. I like Mikey. I want to work with him. But the beds look awful, and the room looks awful and gaudy, and I hate it. So I don't want to be in that room. So sorry, Mikey.
I just hope that Garrett or Eric sees me and joins me, because it'll make it a lot easier to strategize.
I find a king bed. I see Casey's in one. I want to avoid that one. I want to make sure we are not seen together and we can spread out in this game. So I go to the other one.
While it would be very interesting to share a bedroom with Garrett, I think Garrett and I need to keep our potential alliance under wraps.
I have to think about which side I sleep on here. You double check it. Yeah, that's it. I figure this other king bed, I don't know who's going to sit here. Hopefully I can build a strong relationship with them and really be able to work together in this game.
So the other three options I have are an empty room, Casey's in one room, and Garrett's in one room. And I don't want to go with the empty room because I don't really know the other four in the third group moving up the stairs that well, and I don't want to take my chances on who I get paired up with or who chooses to be in that room. So it's between Casey and Garrett, and when I saw Garrett, I saw someone who was stronger than me, who was taller than me, who arguably is more attractive than me, somebody who potentially could be a shield. So I want to be in the same room with him to make sure that, I have the opportunity to work with him rather than him going against me.
There we go. What's your name?
Eric.
That's me, I'm Garrett.
I'm Eric.
I'm chilling on my bed. I don't know who's gonna work with me here, but then all of a sudden comes Eric, and he puts down there, we get to meet. Seems like a really cool dude. I really think we can get along.
I also feel okay with Casey at this point, so I'm hoping that it doesn't bother him too much that I'm not in his room.
Unfortunately, we have wave 2 come in and I see no one.
I think it's interesting that Casey decided not to be in room of 4, and I think I understand why, because looking at the 4 people that are already in there, Missy, Braden, Marvin, these are people who I know have prior connection coming into the game together. So I understand not wanting to be grouped up with them, because very clearly, especially Braden and Missy, are going to be targeted as a group that's working together.
And the next group to move in is Tim, Brandon, Alex, and Caleb. You can move on in.
Why are we running?
Okay, I thought.
I'm literally skipping up steps 2 to 3 at a time. I am really excited to be in this house. I never thought this was going to be something that I'm able to do.
So I'm part of the third moving group, so that means the options are probably limited, so I will gingerly walk up the stairs because there's no point in running.
I've heard y'all do that. Wow, this place is big. Okay. Okay. Well, that's taken.
They're all taken?
Yeah,
What is it taken?
So I see this Pokemon room, and I'm honestly super excited because I'm probably the biggest fan of Pokemon you could possibly imagine. No shame in that. But then there's 4 bitches in that room that already are looking at me, and I'm pissed off because I really want that room bad, but I have to find something else and quick.
As the rest of the house guests are moving in, I'm not really paying attention too much to who's coming into the house, but I do notice that people after people are coming in looking at the fact that this room is full. Sorry, I know that they're jealous.
So I just looked for an empty room, and luck would have it, there is only one empty room.
And can I just... Oh, me and Brandon?
Yeah.
Me and Brandon?
Honestly,
Yeah.
this seems fair enough.
Let's do it. I'm surprised they left an open bed. Y'all just walked by it? Y'all just walked by it?
We got TV in here. We're set.
So I noticed Tim walking into a room, and he is someone that I know from previous games online to be someone very chaotic. Honestly, something that I don't necessarily vibe with, but
I'm with Brandon, so hopefully maybe we can confirm our relationship. So I don't know how much he recognizes me from that past game because it happened a while ago. So
I need a room at this point, and honestly, if he has to be my roommate, so be it. So I walk in to see if there's anyone in the room with him, and he said no, so I guess we're roommates. This is gonna be interesting.
So I hate that I'm in the last moving group. I'm running up the stairs as quick as I can. First thing I notice is there's one bedroom with 4 people, and that's already full. That's definitely scary to me because I think bedrooms play a big impact on the game.
I'm waiting for somebody else to come in and pick the other bed in my room. I think maybe 1 or 2 people come in and see, like, try and take my room, but nobody wants it until Alex comes in.
But I quickly just find an open room and grab a bed.
Are you gonna join me in this room?
Yes, yeah. I'll join you. I don't even see who my roommate is, and it turns out to be Mikey, who, just from looking at him, I have a good vibe from, so I'm pretty happy being in that room.
I don't know Alex at all, but he seems like a cool guy, and he takes the bed next to me, and so, I don't know, maybe this could be the start of something beautiful.
Oh no, Caleb's lost.
Oh, okay.
Alright, we're done. Let's see who's got everyone else.
Let's see if you find
Caleb, okay, it's Operation Find Caleb a bed.
There has to be a bed for Caleb somewhere.
So I run up the stairs, look around, and then I realize all the fucking beds are gone.
Is someone taking with you? Bed.
That's why you walk.
Okay.
I better take my shoes off. It's rude.
Alright. And wave 3 comes in, and we have a couple people peek their head in, but unfortunately, Caleb comes in and chooses my room as well.
I walk into the room and I see this guy with really long hair, and I'm like, oh, male Rapunzel. That's cool.
So how's it going?
It's going well.
I'm Caleb. What's your name?
Casey.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you as well. Immediately I can tell that Caleb he seems very nice, but Caleb is definitely the youngest in the house. Has a bit of a more awkward presence, but doesn't necessarily have a hard time asserting himself in a social situation.
And then I meet him. His name's Casey. Both our names start with C, CAs. And we have a California king bed, and they're pretty cute. So I don't mind it.
Caleb to me seems like they could be an easy first move-ins happen, and we now have time to go about and socialize.
Last night, all the players were introducing themselves in the pool and talking about, my age, locations, my for fun, this is my cereal box character, whatever information that gets you.
I'm just throwing this out there.
And a fun fact.
Name,
Fun fact.
age, like location or whatever, and if you could be a character from any cereal box, which one would it be?
Cereal box.
Yeah.
I actually like that. I like that. So I'll be like Lucky and then just
Captain Crunch.
just because I
Yeah,
got
like
the gold.
Captain Crunch.
You
or
can fire
Something Tiger.
Count Dracula.
I can go first.
All right.
To break the ice.
Hi everybody, my name is Brandon Gianni. I am 22 years old as of like maybe last week. I am initially from New York, however recently I moved to Pennsylvania because I got a job and money. I competed on 1984 before, we don't talk about that. And if I was going to be any character from a cereal box, it would be Captain Crunch.
See Brandon, who I've heard of him before. We played a couple orgs together, but it was Master org, so we didn't know who we were.
Alright, so I'm Travis Shipp. I'm from Charleston, South Carolina. 25 years old. Birthday's coming up in 2 weeks.
Nice.
Let's see. I'm a bartender. And then cereal. I don't know, does Fruity Pebbles have one?
Yes,
Which one? Fred. Gotta be Fred.
Okay, I'll be Fred.
Well, looking around at everyone, there's a couple people that I noticed. Missy and Mikey, I remember from Online Idol, which is a singing reality org that I did a while back. I recognized both of them from there, so I'm wondering if maybe I can connect with them somehow based on that.
My turn?
Yep.
Okay, my name is Melissa Rogers, but I go by Missy. I am 32 years old from Austin, Texas. For 5 years, I did work in account security for a video game company, but as of recently, I am a stay-at-home mom. And y'all already know how I feel about the Chocolate Castle, so.
I know of her. We've never played together before, but when she played in All-Stars for 1984 or Fame and Glory, she ran in the same circles of people that I worked with in my season Deathly Hollows. So coming into the game, I am really excited to meet her and work with her. I've heard only good things about her. I've heard that she's a delight. So I want to hopefully work with this woman because I think she's iconic.
So I'm really excited. I'm really hoping we get a chance to work together. I don't know him that well, but I do know of him, and it is really cool to actually get to meet him face to face.
My name's Casey. I'm 28 years old. I work at an Israeli restaurant in Philadelphia. It's a pain in the ass because the recipes have recipes that have ingredients, so it's a lot to memorize, and I'm not good at that. In terms of 1984, I've never played 1984. I've actually only played a couple games, period. So this is, I feel like, a big dive into this kind of world. And then in terms of the cereal box question...
Controversial.
Yeah, that's quite an interesting question. I feel like Captain Crunch, dude's got to find some gold out there. And
Thank
he doesn't
you.
seem like he's a bad pirate, so...
He seems like one of the good ones. I trust the guy.
One person that I noticed right away is Casey. This is somebody that I can tell he's really taking in his surroundings, really observing who's around, our reactions.
Casey's a little bit weird.
Eric I met actually a couple days before the game. He was a friend of my brother's through an board game, which was 1984.
We know each other, which is nice, but at the same time, we only met 2 days ago.
So he is definitely someone I want to try and link up with.
And it was for a podcast for his show, and when I was doing the podcast, or after the podcast had ended, I told Casey, like, yeah, I played 2 orgs, and I won both of them. And he was like, oh my gosh, that's so impressive, and XYZ, all this stuff. So coming into the house, I know that he knows I'm a threat, but I'm hoping that he's willing to work with me and give me a chance to be a loyal ally to him.
Hi everyone, my name's Eric. I'm 21 from Richmond, Virginia. I'm a tour guide right now for my school's arts program. And for the cereal box question, I think I would want to go with the cinnamon stick from Apple Jacks. Just because, because he's just like really cool and he does all these cool things, but it looks like he's putting no effort into it. I want to live that life.
Valid. Feel that.
Honestly, even though I'm shit at 1984, I'm very good at 1984 history. I know Eric, and Eric's winner. I mean, I figured there was gonna be a winner here, but I wasn't expecting it to be Eric. So, I don't know what that means for me right now, but it's just, I have to look out for him.
My name's Braden. I'm 32 years old. And in case you guys don't know, I'm from Yakima, which is in Washington. Really? Yeah. I am a restaurant server, and I'm also an Uber and DoorDash driver. I was on season 10 of 1984 and All Stars. I did twice as well as my 7th place in season 10 by getting 14. All Stars. But I would say that I don't identify as a cereal mascot. I identify as the prize inside.
Alright, hi everyone. My name is Michael Ruby, but you can call me Mikey. I'm 24 years old. I'm from Brooklyn, New York, by way of Connecticut, and I'm currently a bartender. If I had to pick a cereal mascot to be, I think I'm the little ghost from Blueberry because I'm just as pale and and I'm a scary good time.
Mikey, I know there was a beef of sorts between him and my brother. Mikey had nominated my brother in his original season of 1984. Michael went out the door. came back in a battle that won HOH, and then after that took Mikey out as the first, I believe, juror.
Hi everybody, I'm Caleb. I'm 18 from Fairbury, Nebraska. I am a library aide, minimum wage, and a cereal mascot, probably the old lady from the Honey Bunches of Oats commercials.
I'm Alex. I'm 29 from Cleveland, Ohio, and I'm a receiving and distribution manager. I've never played 1984. This is a new experience for me. And the mascot I would be Toucan Sam. He seems like a cool dude.
Hell yeah. It does seem pretty fun, right?
I notice Alex, who I have played in a few games with. We always say we're gonna work together in those games, but we never actually work together. We kind of just like hit and miss every time. So I don't know how close we're gonna be, but maybe this is the chance we'll get to work together a little closer.
The person that I'm most worried about is probably Alex, since I just played in board with him, and he and I were pretty much coming after each other nonstop.
I feel like I have to either clear the air with Morgan, or I have to get him out of this game, because that could be bad for my game.
My name is Tim Marzullo. I'm 27. I'm an accountant. I'm like 30 minutes away. I can just drive and get all my stuff if I need it. Let's see, 1984. I got 7th a long time ago, a galaxy far, far away. I honestly couldn't think of anything else but a pot of gold, so I'm going lucky. I just be rich, just be an easy rich guy, so I'll stick with lucky.
You're magically good. You're
counting your riches,
right?
Huh?
You're counting your riches, right?
That's right.
And then I see Tim. Tim I've known for a long time. Tim, I think I've known since I was like 13 when we played YouTube Survivor, so it was awesome to get to see some of these people in person.
My name's Garrett. I'm a 25-year-old physician assistant from Indianapolis, Indiana. I work in the ER. And then if I were no experience with 1984 or like Big Brother games, I played a couple Survivor ones, but really kind of minimal org experience as well. And if I were a cereal mascot, kind of basic answer it seems like, but I gotta go with Captain Crunch. I mean, he has a parrot. Like, I want to have a parrot. It's fun.
Why have a parrot when you could be a toucan? Come on.
Well, I'm Marvin. I am 28. I am in the Air Force. I work on planes. My experience with 1984 is I was first boot on season 8 lockdown. So let's go.
Yeah. It's okay because I was second boot. Yes.
And then if I were to pick a cereal mascot, it'd probably be the silly rabbit from Tricks.
Why?
I
need to know why. I need to know why.
I look around and I see, the first person I see is Marvin, and I recognize Marvin from a bunch of orgs that we played before.
I have played quite a few games with Marvin in Impulse, so I am feeling pretty comfortable and like there's a good chance we'll work together.
First person I see that I truly recognize is Marvin from Ascendance Live. I haven't really played a game with him, but we've encountered some short messages over Zoom and online.
I know that he's pretty well known, so I'm not sure how many other people in the game he does know, and if he's gonna work with me or not.
I've never played a game with him, but like, I just feel like our games will connect, and I'm hoping we can make a really long-term alliance with him.
Like so quiet.
Well, anyway, welcome to 1984 Live.
So last night we did our introductions, and right after that, I'm kind of walking around just seeing how people are gelling, and maybe just people going off after the pool. They're just maybe getting changed for the night.
So I walk up the stairs and I see just a group of people hanging out in my room.
There was a conversation between me, Tim, Garrett, Eric, and Casey.
You know, I hop in, I see Eric, I see Casey. These are people I feel good with. So I want to hear what they have to say.
This is an interesting group, and I think I could go back on 1984 history, and maybe we can form a group where I don't get first boot.
Tim is someone, you know, I don't distrust him, but I don't trust him.
So I go to them and say, look, I know 1984 history. Every time, every season, the first HOH is first impressions.
I obviously know this as a former winner, but I don't think Casey and Garrett know that.
Me not really knowing too much about the comps of 1984, it becomes a pretty apparent information that the first HOH is typically chosen by a vote, I guess based off first impressions.
I honestly I was completely down to potentially vote someone in to orchestrate something because bitch don't want me early booting it because, not cute look at this point.
And so it sort of organically came up that what if the five of us stick together, at least for the first vote, and we get to choose who the HOH is.
And then Tim says that he would like to be the first HOH. And I didn't want that. I didn't really want Tim as HOH. I think if it was anybody else in that group, I would have been fine with it.
Tim was pushing for it hard, and honestly, with my knowledge of him, I wasn't really keen of that. Tim came up and he mentioned that he thinks it's going to be a vote for the first one. He'd like us all to vote for him.
We talk about all the other potential choices of people who would potentially win the first HOH, and it was pretty unanimous when we all talked about it that Missy seems to be the most social, the most likable, and as well as Missy's the only woman in the house, so I don't think anyone wants to boot her or anything.
So I think the conversation's over because I've thrown the name, maybe they can gel on it, and so I look outside and Missy is walking up the stairs and I'm like, I don't know if she caught that 5-sum.
On my way upstairs, I stumble upon a group of like 4 or 5 individuals whispering and talking game.
Shortly after Missy walked up the steps and went to her room, Tim left.
I don't know what's happening, so she walks by to her room and I follow her right out the door.
Yeah, it seemed pretty suspicious, but I was trying to let it go. I'm just like, I gotta find my way back to my room. Just let it go.
I should have maybe looked and said, I think she saw us, but I was just too in the moment.
And then shortly after that, Tim came into the room and immediately starts asking questions like, oh, what do you think the next HOH is gonna be? I think it's first impressions. Clearly you're the one that's gonna get it because you're the only female.
So I walk to Missy, she's lying in her bed, and I say, Missy, I think if this is a first impressions HOH, I think you're going to get the votes to get the HOH because all the smokers kind of revolve around you, and I would like to vote for you, and I hope you can vote for me.
And I'm like, no, it's not going to be first impressions. It's always first impressions. Surely it's going to be different this time, and even if it is, just because I'm the only girl doesn't mean I'm getting it.
For me, this is thinking if I get Missy and I get the group of 4 to vote for me, I'll get majority and then I can be the first HOH.
So I feel like, if he's trying to be subtle, that was not the way of going about it. So this does put up some serious red flags for me.
I'm in the room again with Garrett and Casey. Again, we're walking down our street. Brandon comes in and we're like, okay, this is the board. We cannot vote Tim.
Personally, I wanted either Casey or Garrett to take it because they were newer.
I made the suggestion that if we're going to vote in an HOH between the 5 of us, Garrett and I need to be pulled off the table.
There was one moment where Brandon was like, oh, well, Tim volunteered, so why don't we vote for him? And I looked around, Garrett, Casey, silent. Me, silent. We were like, yeah, we don't want Tim to have it.
I'm not sure how I feel about Tim. Tim seems like a great guy, but he's clearly going to be a threat in this game.
Brandon automatically takes himself off the table for certain social reasons.
I didn't want it because I don't want that blood on my hands immediately.
And Casey looks over at me and says, Eric, how do you feel about it?
It then becomes pretty obvious that Eric is probably going to be the first HOH, which honestly is very ideal in my mind.
Default was Eric, and honestly I'm fine with Eric taking first HOH because I think he would keep that group safe. So let's see what happens.
In my head, I don't like that he forced that on me. But at the same time, I'm thinking, what's the worst thing that can happen if I win HOH?
Thankfully, Eric stepped up, and I think we're all going to vote Eric for this one.
Right after I leave the conversation with Missy, Casey pulls me aside and says, so that conversation wasn't done. And I'm like, Oh.
Hello and welcome to 1984 Live Season 1. The 12 of you are about to start competing to be the first 1984 Live champion and the $500 prize that goes along with it. Last night, as you arrived, you were all able to get to know each other a little better. As we always say at the 1984 board, first impressions are very important, and that is no different when it comes to 1984 Live. So this competition, this is your very first HOH competition, is called Hello and Welcome. One at a time, I'm going to call you up to the diary room. You are going to say the name of one of your fellow house guests. The person who is said the most, who gets the most votes, will be your first head of household of the season. And Travis, you can go first.
Travis, please give me the name of the person you want to be the first head of household.
I would like to vote for...
Hello, Caleb. Please give me the name of the person you would like to be the first head of household.
I vote for Eric.
Thank you.
Start to sleep now?
Yep.
Okay.
Alright, hello, Casey. Please give me the name of the person you want to be the first head of household.
First HOH is for Eric. Hopefully my plan worked.
Alright, thank you. Alright, hello Marvin, please give me the name of the person you would like to become the first head of household.
So I feel it's only fitting that
Okay, hello Alex, please give me the name of the person you would like to become the first head of household.
I'm gonna vote for...
Hello Brandon, can you please give me the name of the first person you would like to become HOH?
Eric. Easy.
Thank you.
Okay. Do I go?
Yeah. Okay, hello Brayden. Can you please give me the name of the first person you would like to become HOH?
It's not a surprise, but I vote for Melissa as the first HOH.
Thank you. Alright, hello Mikey. Can you please give me the name of the first person you would like to become HOH?
I would like...
I'll vote for Eric.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, Eric. Please give me the name of the person you would like to become the first head of household.
I'm pretty sure I know what's going to happen. I'm looking forward to it, but I'm also very nervous. I'm going to vote for Garrett.
Thank you. Oops, that's the wrong one. Hey, hello, Missy. Can you please give me the name of the person you would like to become the first head of household?
Brayden.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Alright, hello Garrett. Can you please give me the name of the first person you would like to become head of household?
Alright, we're gonna vote for the roomie, Eric.
Okay, we have the votes. With one vote, Garrett, you are not the HOH. With one vote, Brayden, you are not the HOH. And with 5 votes each, we have Eric and Missy. So we have a tie. So we are going to go to a re-vote. So everyone's going to go back up again. You are going to cast your re-vote. If we tie again, we'll go to a tiebreaker question. Robert, do you want?